I'm Rob.
And I'm Louie.
And this is the Thief Simulator VR review
by Barefoot Gaming.
Louie, describe Thief Simulator for me. I'm going to be more direct than that.
You change it every time.
Louie, what do you do in Thief Simulator? What's the gist of the game?
You steal. You steal as much as your grubby little thief fingers can hold.
And how do you do it?
With your hands.
Or you use different tools. You do use your hands to actually do the stealing.
Yes, you can pick locks, you can break glass with your crowbar or with fancy tools that you get later on. Funny enough, you can't steal the tools you need to steal with.
That is true. Now you can also steal cars. There's an electronics portion of the game where much later on, and I guess maybe that's something we should talk about now, it's progressive.
Yes.
So you don't start off as a good thief.
No, you start off as a brand new thief. You've got a flashlight and a crowbar. The only way for you to get into a house is busting windows and hoping for an open door.
On your first night, I think you can steal upwards to $37 worth of stuff.
Roughly.
So you're doing poorly. And what always happens is you go out on a mission, and then after you finish the mission, you load stuff into your car if it's required, otherwise it's in your backpack, and then you go back to your safe house.
Yep.
Go to sleep. Next day you can go to the pawn shop. You've got a computer that you can learn more information about future stuff. You can also, there's a place where you can save stuff in your hideout. What am I forgetting? There's lots of different layers to this.
Not only do you get to sell stuff to the pawn shop, you can steal phones and laptops and delete the serial numbers and kind of clean them up and sell them online.
And cars, you can fully steal cars later on, and then you can you have to disable the GPS if that's something that you're trying to not get caught.
Again.
Exactly, and you can part it out, right? You can take the tires off and sell all the individual parts.
Yes.
So it's got a lot of different functions in a game.
Yeah, but you can't, for a tire example, you steal a tire, you make the trip back to the car because you can't fit 4 tires into your backpack for some odd reason.
And even a television, for example, they require 2 hands to be able to move. Everything, you have to watch out for light, you have to watch out for noise. There's people, bars on windows, cops. There's the ability to hide in things.
Dumpsters and other such things, under beds maybe.
And on top of all that, there's the actual ability to drive in VR itself. That's the basic gist of the game. You start off robbing really poor houses, and then you work your way up to robbing really fancy houses. And you'll get
some of them, if you break a window, let's say it's a really nice house, you break a window with your crowbar, big steel shutters will come down and you can't get back in, and the homeowners, if they're home, will call the cops. If not, the alarm comes on. Anybody nearby calls the cops for them. And
even after you hide, even after you've technically gotten away with it,
and the sirens stop,
police will still be looking for you. Flashlights and stuff are still out, so you have to watch out for that. That's the main gist of the game itself. The game goes for $17 US, early access, $20 Canadian. Louie, give me some pros, give me some cons. Do you recommend the game? Go.
Pros are, I've never been in a game quite like this one before, where you get to sneak around in VR. I would liken it a little bit to like a Sam Fisher type game in that respect, but it's not as polished. And I do like the aspect of being able to steal and grab and know how much it's worth, how much experience it's worth when I steal stuff, throw it back on my back and hike out. But at the same time, the controls were so crazy, let's say, because you try to put it in your backpack and it just drops through the bottom. And it's just buggy in a couple different ways like that. I wouldn't recommend this yet. Give it a couple months. It's still in early access. Wait, and maybe it'll get better. Maybe a lot of the bugs will get fixed, and it could end up being a really great game.
I would lean your direction in the sense that I think the game has potential. I do think the game has potential. I think they're tackling too many things and they're trying to make it too much. Now that could be a pro if they can pull it all off. And maybe you can. The developer seems like a great guy, and fingers crossed you do. But the driving is absolute garbage right now. It is absolute garbage. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes the wheel, like Louis was saying, will be wrenched out of your hand. You'll be making a sharp left turn, and the braking and accelerating isn't done very well. Like, to steer like this, honestly, I was happy when I didn't have to drive.
Yes.
When I would start my ignition and go, oh, where do you want to go? To the pawn shop. Oh,
And
I don't have to drive.
It would flash you there.
Thank you. Thank you for that, because if this doesn't get worked out, the driving actually actively makes me annoyed.
Yes.
The game is dropping frames, and it doesn't matter that I'm running it on a 1080 Ti. Even without capturing the gameplay, it is dropping frames. And I can feel it a little bit. If I'm in it for long enough, I can actually feel a little bit nauseous. And I'm not used to feeling that. Hopefully that's something they can work out as well. The graphics are basic. That's okay.
Everything's very flat and plain, and it's not really shaded or textured.
But the logic annoys me. Like, if I break into a house and there's lots of stuff to interact with, and like the guy's got piles of different kinds of runners, I'm like, okay, I'll pick some up, pull the trigger, nothing happens. Okay, you know, this thing's early access. Pull the trigger again, it's not showing me what the value is. I'll pull my backpack out, I'm hovering it in the right zone, trying to get it to show me how much this thing is worth.
And you get mad, you throw the shoe away, and as you're throwing it away, the price shows up just for a second, but you threw it away too quick.
And the flashlight on your head happens to go across the room as well, and the crowbar falls on the floor, and I'm like, okay, breathe, Rob. This is okay. This game is early access. I keep telling myself that, but because of its current state, I cannot recommend this. Maybe that's going to change. Keep an eye on the game. Like I said, it has piles of promise. The abilities and the things that they want to be able to add, if they all become smooth, fantastic. But right now, it's a bit of a broken mess, and I would say stay away. That's my review. That's my thoughts. You heard Louis. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Developer, I wish you the very best with this. This is a big project, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Bye.
See ya.